WXII 12 News at 5 starts right now.
Summer's heat on full blast.
How long it will stick around as a new round of rain appears in the forecast.
If this roadway is expanded, this longtime accounting business would be forced to move. What the owner has to say about it coming up.
Uptown Lexington rebuilds the items that have been pulled from the rubble that are giving these business owners hope.
Let's go Canes.
The Stanley Cup champions making a return to the Triad.
What you can do right now to make sure you see the team in person.
First at 5, hot temps are back in the Piedmont, prompting the city of Greensboro to open a cooling center overnight.
But another weather change is coming as we head into the weekend. Meteorologist Dave Aiken joins us in studio to start things off for us.
So Dave, what do we need to know for the coming hours?
Well, for this evening, we'll run a risk of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. I think most of us will be dry, but we could see one crop up, and I'll show you the radar here in a second. Looking out over High Point, you can see mostly sunny skies out there. We had a few clouds kind of mix in earlier, and those have now mixed out of the area. We're at 90 in the Triad right now, 93 Raleigh, it's 81 in Charlotte and Galax, Virginia, 80 at Boone right now, but with the humidity, it feels a little hotter than that. Feels like it's into the mid to upper 90s across the Piedmont. Feels like 101 in Florence, South Carolina, and 100 down towards Fayetteville with the heat index. There is an extreme heat advisory, or a heat advisory, I should say, for our southern counties, Montgomery, Moore, also into Chatham County. That goes until 8 o'clock tonight, and then again tomorrow from 11 until 8, where their heat index values there could be close to what it feels like, around 110. Had a few clouds. You see how they dissolved out and pushed south a little earlier. Shower and thunderstorm activity really more prevalent down towards the south of us near Charlotte. Watching a couple little areas over Surrey and Wilkes County that have been trying to get going, having a hard time to get those to develop. Grasshoppers have a game against Dash tonight in Greensboro, 6:30 pitch. Maybe dry, not sure where these will hit, but an isolated shower is possible. It'll still be hot and humid out there at 6:30. Hot 90s, the humidity going to stick around for a little while. We got some severe storm risk days coming up. We'll tell you about those. We'll also talk about 2 areas in the tropics that are of significance. We'll discuss all that and more in just a little bit.
All right, Dave, thank you. A growing outcry from a Surrey County community about a road project that could threaten 30 properties and impact many more. WXII 12's Kelly Kendall has been following this project, and she heard from people who say their lives and livelihoods would be upended if it goes ahead.
Adding a median to this road means that this longtime accounting business has to go, and it's not the only one. That's why business and homeowners along Highway 89 say they don't want an NCDOT project to go ahead.
It was just pretty much put in our laps.
I mean, we don't even know how bad to be worried yet.
So that'll hurt the impact of our business there.
We don't want this plan.
Shock, frustration, and uncertainty filled the back porch of Charlene Melton's accounting and tax service on NC 89. It's over a proposed NCDOT project to add a median and update an intersection along a 5-mile stretch of the busy roadway.
With grass in the middle and a cement barrier.
People don't like it. My clients don't like it.
That's Charlene herself. She's done people's taxes and payroll out of this building for 24 years. But NCDOT's proposed designs for NC 89 show the expanded road cutting right through her building. She says her business would take a big hit.
I'm sure I will lose some of it because they won't want to go out in the country to our old location. Other businesses do not like it either because a lot of businesses are going to have to move. The auto repair shop next to us, it's going to be gone. 2 houses behind that will be gone. It's astronomical what we're going to lose.
And other residents are skeptical about what they'd gain. NCDOT says the project would improve safety and traffic flow by directing drivers to turn right and get into designated lanes for U-turns.
I understand it needs something done, but it needs to be something done sensible.
I just hope and pray that the state will listen to us.
NCDOT's public comment period on the project ended last week. Right now, engineers are compiling that feedback, which could be incorporated in their final designs. In the meantime, a petition to stop the project and consider alternatives has garnered nearly 1,400 signatures. In Surrey County, I'm Kelly Kendall for WXII 12 News.
Now to an update on a 12 investigates we brought you yesterday. No criminal charges are being filed after hazing allegations involving Reagan High School's football team. The school's principal says players attempted to remove someone's shirt in the locker room and a coach heard the commotion and stepped in to stop things. We reached back out to the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office this morning and they told us the reported incident was looked into. However, none of the parents or the children involved wanted to press any charges. The Sheriff's Office now considers this a closed case.
Right now, an active search continues for a suspect in South Carolina accused of killing a teen at a bus stop Wednesday morning. Authorities in Cherokee County say the suspect, an 18-year-old, ran from law enforcement when they went to a home early this morning. Drones and helicopters are being utilized in the search, while residents in the area where he's been spotted are asked to call 911 if anything looks suspicious.
We don't know if he's armed or not armed, so we're going to consider him armed and dangerous at this time. But for now, we believe he is in this area, and we're going to keep searching, and hopefully we'll have him into custody.
A second suspect, a 17-year-old, was charged with murder in the case following an arrest this morning. This suspect is accused of shooting the victim. Investigators say it appears the two got into an argument as Joe Miltron Fair Jr. was getting on the bus. He died at the scene. 15 other students, some of them elementary school students, were on board at the time. A former North Carolina police officer is out of jail following accusations he planned a mass shooting in New Orleans. The Louisiana Attorney General's office confirming Christopher Gillum was released this summer after a grand jury did not find there was enough evidence to indict him. Gillum was arrested back in April in Florida. Authorities say at the time he had hundreds of rounds of ammunition with him. According to the Attorney General, Gillum's family took him to a treatment facility after his release.
To Davidson County now, amid demolition, pieces of the candy factory's past are emerging from the rubble. WXII 12 Sarah Sowers spoke with the owners of the beloved Lexington shop about what they've salvaged and the one discovery giving them hope.
The candy factory in uptown Lexington is almost unrecognizable, but from all the rubble and debris, hope isn't lost. It's been nearly 3 months since a fire destroyed the candy factory and Shoto Japanese Steakhouse along Main Street. Demolition began last week with significant progress bringing uptown closure as they move closer to rebuilding each day. But not everything was lost. Some antiques, glass jars, and even an old cash register were all salvaged. One special piece made it out intact and is reminding the Conrad family that not all hope is gone.
Leaves of Gold is an anthology of poems and prayers and quotes, and it's not a Bible, but there is scripture in there, and it wasn't burned. It was very wet, starting to mold, but even in times like this, it was a nice reminder that God's still with us.
The Conrad family is hopeful that all of this debris will be cleared out in about a week, and new architectural plans are already in the works. Reporting in uptown Lexington, Sarah Sowers, WXII 12 News.
Right now, help for Colombia is arriving from the Piedmont. Early this morning, a plane for Samaritan's Purse took off from Greensboro, loaded with nearly 50 tons of relief supplies. This includes shelter materials, solar lights, as well as hygiene kits. The aid comes as the country continues to sift through the rubble caused by a 7.4 magnitude quake.
We have a team on the ground, and the need is desperate. You know, it was the largest earthquake this century in Colombia. And so, you know, over 1,000 homes have been damaged. Over 200 people were killed in this, and still a high number still missing. And so we just want to be able to get there as fast as we can.
The help from Samaritan's Purse is just some of the relief heading to the country. Colombia's new president says the number of families impacted sits at more than 25,000.
In Forsyth County, the village of Clemmons is honoring a part of its history. This morning, officials came together with Clemmons Moravian Church to unveil a new historical marker. It centers on celebrating the legacy of the church, which has been a cornerstone in the community since the 19th century. You can find it on Spangberger Avenue. A big moment in civil rights history is being honored in a new way, and you can help make it happen. Bricks and Minifigs Greensboro is hosting a Lego design challenge called Sit and Build Out. From now until October 16th, people can design and build in 300 pieces or less an original creation inspired by the sit-in movement. It was sparked by the actions of 4 students at North Carolina A&T on February 1st, 1960. The winning design will become Bricks and Minifig's first custom Lego set. Now, the competition comes as North Carolina A&T gets ready to celebrate another milestone. This year's homecoming, known as the greatest homecoming on earth, will mark its 100th year. While tickets to the October 31st game are sold out, multiple events will be taking place in Greensboro that weekend.
The Carolina Hurricanes are coming to the Piedmont, and that had people lining up in Greensboro today. Around 24 people waited in line at the First Horizon Coliseum box office to secure their seat to see the Stanley Cup champs play in a preseason matchup. This will be the first time since 1999 the team has hit the ice in the Triad, and fans are really excited about that.
So many hockey fans here in Greensboro, and some of them are season ticket holders in Raleigh at the Lenovo Center, but you know, it's good that they come back here and where their roots started.
The preseason game is set for September 24th against the Nashville Predators. Puck drop is set for 7 p.m. In addition to buying at the box office, fans can get tickets online, and we checked Ticketmaster a little earlier this afternoon, and we found a single ticket starting at about $34, and that was the same price per ticket we found for 2 tickets together.
Skill plus speed. It's not just something needed on the ice, but also in a growing sport. Meet the Triad women looking to dominate the competition.
Plus, living their vows, why a couple whose love story started in the Triad found out they really are a perfect match.
More than 250 days at sea in the Middle East. I'm Amy Lou on Capitol Hill with the growing scrutiny over the reported conditions on one major U.S. aircraft carrier.